What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Hurricanes Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez. Show me hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell. Leave your comments. Got a big video here because I think this is a video that people are not really knowledgeable about. They probably don't know the whole backstory to it. So I want to share a story of what's actually going on here in the chess match that will be this Miami Hurricanes Indiana Hoosiers national championship game. So much is being talked about in terms of the Miami Hurricanes not having any chance whatsoever to win by so many different individuals. I heard tonight Josh Pate say that he picks Miami. I heard another guy picking Miami, the one that works with David Pollock, former defense lineman from Georgia. Pollock picked Indiana, actually. He said everything that would indicate picking Miami. And then he picked Indiana. So, but his partner picked Miami. What is big in this situation here is there is a familiarity with the coaching involved in this game, and it's none other than Curt Cignetti, who is the head coach of Indiana, and defensive coordinator Corey Hetherman for the Miami Hurricanes, along with Mike Shanahan Jr., the offensive coordinator for Indiana. And we'll talk about that on this video. But before we jump in, shout out to Natalie Lopez, attorney at law, our sponsor of the show. When life hits hard, the law firm of Natalie Lopez hits back harder. You can reach her at 954 888 8833. That's 954 888 8833. She practices in the areas of criminal defense and family law. Again, you can reach her at 954 888 8833 and on Instagram at nat.guilty. That's nat.guilty. She will fight for you. Thank you, Natalie, for your continued support of our show. So, what's the relationship between these three coaches? Well, Curt Cignetti is obviously Mike Shanahan Jr.'s boss right now, but at one point, Curt Cignetti was the boss of both of these men. Corey Hetherman was Curt Cignetti's defensive coordinator at James Madison for 3 years. And Mike Shanahan has been with Cignetti since at least 2019, when I checked, and is now with him at Indiana. He is the offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach. And of course, Shanahan, Hetherman, and Cignetti all know each other very, very well. Cignetti has been effusive in praise of Hetherman and obviously respects him a great deal. I'm sure they're probably very good friends, having worked together for 3 years. But this is going to be the ultimate chess match now. See, there's so many storylines to this game. Home game for Miami. Indiana's bringing their entire state down here to take over the Hard Rock. Miami's got no chance by so many different media members and media outlets that we might as well not even play the football game. But when you have people that are very familiar with each other and know each other's tendencies and what they like to do, well, now you have that the ultimate chess match. Can I outthink you? Can you outthink me? Can I beat you here? Can I beat you there? Can you beat me here? I mean, there's all kinds of where do I move my pawn? Where do I move my rook? Where do I move my bishop? My queen? You know, my knight? All that stuff. How do I protect my king? And that is the chess match that we're going to have in this game between these men. It really, the battle is going to be between Mike Shanahan and Corey Hetherman. Corey Hetherman has an elite defense, one of the best defenses in the country, while Mike Shanahan has an excellent offense, one of the top offenses in the country. But we have seen the Indiana offense figured out a little bit depending on the type of team that they play. Well, they have these big, robust numbers against certain opponents. Against other opponents, they don't have those robust numbers. 13-10 Ohio State, 27-24 Penn State, 20-15 Iowa. Those are the three best examples that we can continuously use and rehash and talk about over and over and over again, because those are the true examples of what you're going to see in this game come Monday night. You're going to see a Corey Hetherman-led defense that has elite pass rushers, an elite defensive line, top shelf linebacking core in terms of stopping the run. Now, I'll sit here and I'll tell you, Miami's pass defense with Motoré and Messi Bassin may not be as good as I'd like it to be, but stopping the run, they are elite. They are top level. And when you have a defensive line that can create the type of havoc that Ruben Bain, Akeem Mesidor, Ahmad Moten, David Blay, Justin Scott, Armando Blunt can all create across that line, It makes for a very interesting contest. Indiana's got a pair of 1,000-yard running backs. One who happens to be a seventh-year senior. Just saying, I got to throw that out there. Take a little dig there, take a little shot. But what you got going on here is this again, ultimate chess match in play. Quite frankly, Cignetti and Shanahan know what Hetherman likes to do, but at the same time, Hetherman knows what Cignetti and Shanahan like to do. They know what they both know what they're gonna see. They watched enough film. This is the type of game that comes down to basic execution. And when it's all said and done, one thing that the Miami Hurricanes have that Indiana simply doesn't have is they have an elite offensive line. Look, Indiana's offensive line is good, but there is a hole in that right side of their offensive line. They're having some issues over there. So guess what? On the left side of that line, you might have Akeem Mesidor, you might have Ruben Bain, or you might have them both. They might both be on one side of the football and there to create havoc on that right side of that offensive line, the side that Fernando Mendoza can see. And because of that, you might have then a blitz off the backside that says, "Oh shoot, I got Ruben Bain and I got Akeem Mesidor stunting. Now they're both in my lap. I turn around and I got Keontae putting his helmet through my chest." These are the types of things that we're going to be looking for in this game. We're going to be looking for to see how does Fernando Mendoza and how does Mike Shanahan Jr. attack the Miami defense. We all know the best way to, I mean, as a Hurricane fan, we all know the best way to attack the Miami defense is quick passes. It's just that simple. It's the quick pass attack. Will Indiana do that? Fernando Mendoza is pretty good at getting rid of the ball quickly, but it's the key to the Miami defense to make him not get rid of the ball quickly, which means defensive backs have to be on point. They have got to be in the grill of the receivers like Elijah Surratt and Omar Cooper, as well as Charlie Becker, EJ Williams, and Riley Nowakowski. So they got 5 dudes on this team that have at least 30 catches, led by Cooper, who has 64 catches, and Surratt has 62 catches. They're both very similar in style. I mean, 13.5 yards to 12.9 yards. Becker is more of that deeper threat per se. He's averaging 20.5 yards per reception. The funny thing about it is the way it's been made to seem is like as if Carson, it's almost been painted this picture that the Miami Hurricanes have no offensive weapons, and also the guy that replaced Hetherman was also on the James Madison staff at the time. So there is so much information out there and so much familiarity between everybody. So with that familiarity, even with the fact of how Indiana runs their defense, Corey Hetherman has all that information. He was the guy that ran the defense. So this is a game that's going to be so interesting on so many levels because of this level of familiarity. The knowledge base, and I mean, when people are sitting here talking about, well, what can Brock shot the tight end who transferred from Miami a few weeks ago to Indiana is already there, which I find to be completely ridiculous. I don't even think he should be allowed to be there based on the situation at hand. But does Brock Shot's information really make a difference? Not really, because this comes down to execution. And when the coaches know each other so well, you can be sure that Corey Hetherman has passed along all the information he's got and gathered over the years working under Curt Cignetti, working with Brian Haynes, working with Mike Shanahan Jr., and the knowledge that he has attained working with these guys. So he knows what they like to do. He knows what they don't like to do. And of course, like I said, they know what he likes to do. So it's gonna be there's gonna be the chess match. I mean that we've seen like no other. Now, when you talk about the receiving core, unlike the Indiana Hoosiers, who have 5 guys that with at least 30 catches, Miami has obviously a much more top-heavy receiving core with Malachi Tony with 99 catches for over 1,089 yards, Keelan Marion at 56 for 740, and C.J. Daniels for 46 for 495. Early on, C.J. Daniels was that big play threat for the Hurricanes until he got hurt. Obviously, when being knocked out and not playing for a number of weeks, it kind of caused a problem for the Miami Hurricanes, which his return has also helped, obviously, them get a lot better. Elijah Laughlin is not expected at this point to play from what I've heard. I mean, we'll see what happens. Don't know really what happened to him on that hit against Ole Miss. I mean, did he break his sternum, did he break his chest bone? I don't know. They haven't said anything. After that, you got, Marty Brown is fifth on the team in catches with 19. You got Mark Fletcher with 16. Alex Bauman's got 17. Joshua Moore's got 16. I'm interested. JoJo Trey's got 13. I'm interested to see what Joshua Moore does as a wide receiver in this game because I think he's going to get some playing time in this game. But man, this is going to be a fun contest because this type of mental manipulation and tendency and the whole nine, it's going to be really. I'm intrigued. I'm actually really intrigued by this component of the game because you have to see which guy is thinking two steps ahead, who is ahead of the other, and that is going to be a massive part of this game. And for the Miami Hurricanes, even more so than for Indiana, Miami Hurricanes defense has got to play on the level that it's been playing on against Ohio State, against Texas A&M, not so much against Ole Miss because the Miami defense seemed to get a little bit tired with the injuries that they were dealing with and the fact that they dropped so many opportunities with those interceptions. Had they made those plays, that game would have been a wipeout. Against Mendoza, they have to create those same opportunities. And I have no doubt that they can create them. It's just now a matter of capitalizing on those opportunities that are presented to you. So if you have a chance to make a pick, you got to make that pick. It cannot hit the ground because if it hits the ground, you're giving them life. You're giving them life, and you don't want to give life to this team. You don't want to let them have any confidence on your home field. You need to get the early lead. You have to be playing from out front. Indiana has not really had to deal with that all too much this season. Even in the game against Penn State, they led for most of the game until Penn State came back, and then they had to score in that final possession. But they led for most of the game. Even against Ohio State, it wasn't like they were down multiple scores. I mean, they got that game. They had the lead by the middle of the third quarter. It was 13-10 at the 8-minute mark of the third quarter. So really, I mean, they've had some close games. They've had some tough ones. The Penn State game, obviously, the Ohio State game, and of course the Iowa game, which was tied going into the fourth quarter. So if Miami can create some level of separation, like they did against Ohio State, like it did against Ole Miss, I don't think that Indiana has the type of offense to get back into the game the way Ole Miss with their quick strike offense and their tempo, which at the same time, at times, I thought the tempo backfired for Ole Miss, just my opinion, because when you're not used to playing more methodically. You in this situation against Miami, you left 3 minutes on the clock for Carson Beck to come back and beat you, and your defense was completely gassed and spent. So you left time on the clock. And this could be that final possession type of game. It could very well end up that way where a field goal wins the game. It's a possibility. But if the Miami Hurricanes are able to jump out and take advantage of the home crowd environment, I don't care what people from Indiana say. They don't know what they don't know what they don't know. What they don't know is that while they got their 20,000 tickets, I can look right now on freaking SeatGeek and I can show you thousands of tickets for sale on in the Indiana section as well. I can show it to you. It exists. Like the mentality that only Miami is selling tickets, Miami fans are selling tickets to them is utterly crazy. Because like right now, if you look at this game right now, tickets are starting at $2,987. Just freaking nuts. I mean, God, that's crazy. I'm sitting here looking at it right now, and I'm looking at tickets for 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 7,000. These are all in the Indiana section. Like right now, this screenshot, for what they make it seem like that Indiana's not selling tickets. Remember, this stadium is being chopped in half at the 50-yard line on the Miami sideline of this game, because Miami's going to be on the visitor sideline, not their typical sideline. From that 50-yard line all the way around to the middle of the goalpost, that is the Miami side. And yes, they have tickets for sale too. Absolutely. There are people that are trying to make like bandits and get their $400 tickets, $500 tickets and sell them for freaking 5,000 a ticket. And to sit here and say I didn't think about it for a second. Yeah, I thought about it, but this is an experience of a lifetime, man. And I don't fault people for doing that, but I also, it's a personal preference, needless to say. And on the other side of it, There's all kinds of tickets available for Indiana in the Indiana section as well. I mean, they're all over. There's for sale. Now, a vast majority of the tickets that are for sale are on the corporate side. Those tickets that went to the corporations. It's a matter of who gobbles those up. And I would expect that mostly Miami Hurricane fans are going to gobble those up. Why? Because there's more money in Dade County. There's more money in Broward. There's more money in Palm Beach. South Florida alone has over 6 million people. And the money in South Florida far outweighs all the money in Indiana. And that's not an opinion. That's not an opinion. So you're 800,000 alumni from Indiana. If you're not an alumni from Indiana, why the hell would you even want to come to this game? Why would you spend $4, $5, $6, $7, $10,000 to go to a college football game? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. Like it seems crazy. Like just to give you an idea, the population of the state of Indiana is just slightly larger than the population of the Tri-County area, South Florida. Slightly, 6.9 million people. And there's about 6.3 million people in the Miami metro area. Like here, I'm looking at around 6.4 million people. So that Tri-County area is damn near the size of an entire state with a much higher financial ability to buy tickets that cost a kidney, a lung, a heart. you know, just it's crazy. So before people run on their mouths and do their thing about how, oh, Miami people are all selling all their tickets, there's an even distribution of tickets that are for sale right now, but a large majority of these tickets are for sale on the corporate sidelines where all those corporate tickets were being sold, were being. It's what makes me so ill about games like this. Like, I'm gonna be honest about it. If you want to give all the corporations, because what pisses me off from my perspective as a season ticket holder is that I have seats in the Cornerstone suites during regular season, 254 CC. And the fact that I can't sit in the seats that I paid for all season pisses me off. It's comfortable, it's enjoyable. I like my comfortable seat. I can do my live broadcast from there. I can't do it where I'm sitting in the upper deck on section 312. Like where I'm sitting right now, there's a seat going there. There are seats available for $4,000 up in that section. Like, my God, that's crazy. I do expect the ticket prices to come down as we get closer to the game because nobody wants to be caught with these tickets and be stuck with them and not be able to use them or sell them. So I do think that ticket prices will start to drop a little bit, probably Sunday to Monday, because the game is Monday evening. So I think you're gonna, but do I think it'd be a crazy drop? No, I don't. But I think there'll be some level of drop. So people are willing to test fate and want to come to the game, you know, be on one of these websites and see how the ticket prices drop because they're gonna drop. They're gonna drop. I don't expect to see thousands of empty seats in this stadium. But yeah, that's the one thing about the corporate component that bugs me is like you to give away almost half the stadium to corporations and sponsors is bullshit. Like it's just it's so lowbrow. You can give tickets, but there has to be a certain cutoff point. This place should literally be freaking 75% fans of teams and then 25% to corporations. And heck, I would even say less. But if you want to give away the suites and stuff like that, and then and so forth, I could live with that. But the rest of the stadium should be for real fans because real fans earned this type of thing. This is like, and that's one thing about the like Super Bowl games and stuff like that. Like those aren't fans. The large majority of those people are not fans. So I'm just happy that I'm gonna get to be there. It's great to have a chance to be there. But yeah, I would love to have my section 254 CC, um, and not to mention pay the price that it should be. Like even the face value of these tickets is absolutely disgusting. $475 for an disgusting. $1,400 for a lower level seat is disgusting. Like that just is so lowbrow to me. It's just like you're cash grabbing people like crazy. Like I understand it, and especially in a stadium of this size, because bluntly, this is a small stadium. Like we went from playing in the Cotton Bowl where it seats 100,000 people, and the Fiesta Bowl where seats over 80,000 people, and we're playing the stadium that seats 65. They're gonna jam standing room only seats into this thing, but we'll see. But again, this goes back to the chess match. Just to talk about it finally, Who wins the chess match? That's who wins the game. And I think the chess match will be won by Corey Hetherman. He has the dogs on the defensive line and on defense to get the job done. And offensively, while he doesn't coach that unit, I just don't know that. I always learned that good big beats good little. Like that's where I came from. That's the world I came from. Good big will always beat good little. And I don't care how good little Indiana is. Their good little is not more talented than Miami's good big. Their good little is not better than Miami's good big. It's just that simple. And that's my opinion. I'm standing on it because I know what the hell we got. And I'll tell you one final thing. I'm gonna do a video on this because this is a topic that really is to my heart. Because at the end of the day, if this game was anywhere else, I would say that Indiana's probably gonna win. Completely transparent. Because to win 4 straight games against opponents like this away from home is so hard. It's so hard. The travel has beaten Miami down a bit, I think. The guys got sick before the Fiesta Bowl because they've been in nonstop travel. And that can wear you out. That's the one thing about this. Like even with Ohio State last year, their first game was at home. It wasn't on the road. They didn't play in front of 108,000 people on the road. They played in their home building. And then they went to bowl games like everybody else. But that first game was home. Miami's been traveling literally since mid-November, people. They've been on the road since Virginia Tech, Pitt, A&M, Ohio State, and finally Ole Miss. And now they're finally playing in their home building. But if they were on the road, yeah, I'd have a lot more concern. And I think that probably Miami would probably fall short. And that's just being completely transparent. I always stand on business and being completely transparent as to who I am. But there's a certain personal level to this. There's a personal level to this. You have so many guys that are from this backyard who are Miami Hurricane football players. So where this isn't just a game. This is personal. And it's not personal in the nature of personal against Indiana. It's personal because they made a decision while so many people were chicken shitting out and going elsewhere. Chicken shitting out and going to Alabama, going to Georgia, going to Ohio State because they didn't want to be a part or didn't believe the vision of what could be in Miami because they weren't old enough to know what it used to look like here. That's one of the biggest problems with Miami is that it's been such a long time that these players today weren't even alive when Miami was last good, like legitimately an elite team. They weren't even alive. They have no understanding of what the city of Miami and Miami-Dade County are like when the Miami Hurricanes are on top. It's different. It's different. It is so different. And these young guys, Malachi Tony, Bryce Fitzgerald, Mark Fletcher, like guys like that, Wesley Besainth, Ahmad Moten, just thinking of guys out, OJ Frederic, Damari Brown, like dudes like that who bought in, who believed in what was being told to them, believed in what the vision was. And now they're sitting here in the national championship game. Like I said, I'm gonna do a deeper dive on this one in a video tomorrow. But holy Lord, they're this close. They're this close, and it's personal. If this game was anywhere else, I'd say something different. But in our building, in our county, in our city, I would think you'd have to kill these guys to take this from them. Those are my thoughts. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments about this chess match between Corey Hetherman, Curt Cignetti, and Mike Shanahan Jr. What do you think of it? Y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. This is Hurricanes Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.